Hello everybody, this is FilibusterFox getting ready to start up another League of Legends live stream right now. Today is the first day that I have posted on the general discussion forum for League of Legends, so we should hopefully see some more viewers coming in here. We're about to get started here, and we will get going in just a moment here. Yes, I've shaved off today. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this show, I am FilibusterFox, and every day at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern time, I get on here and I stream some League of Legends. We watch some featured matches, or perhaps matches from my friends list, in the event that there are no good featured matches available, and we commentate them, and give us a chance to perhaps improve our gameplay by watching said matches. Now, due to the fact that featured matches are not currently available with the new Season 3 patch, we're going to go ahead and spectate someone on my friends list. We're going to see some actual kind of mid-level play here. That is not the person. Waiting on them to actually get in the game. They're in queue right now, so it'll just be a minute. For those of you just joining us, I am in the chat, available for chat. As long as I'm not currently in a game shoutcasting, I'll be available to chat with whomever tunes in. Hello, chat. Now, for the brief time that we're waiting here for this friend on my list to get matched up, normally we would be watching much higher elo matches, diamond, platinum matches, whatever comes up on the featured games list here, and analyzing them and seeing what we can learn from, what they're doing correctly in the match, and what we can improve our own games and get up to that level if we're below, or if we're already at that level, you know, plat and diamond players watching this may be able to take what is going on in that situation and learn from other people at their level and improve their own game. Now, for those tuning in just a bit late here, we're just waiting on this first queue to get going here. And then we shall get started. Just waiting right on for this to get going in just a minute. So, once again for the late joiners, my name is FilibusterFox, and every day at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, I stream League of Legends for the improvement of all. Since there is no featured stream, we are just holding off a tad here, waiting for someone in my friends list who have agreed to spectate for this match to get into queue. I believe they are, let's see what league they are in at this point. Okay, they're in Silver 3, so not the highest level of play, but it's decent. And you can learn from Silver just as well as you can learn from Plat. You just learn what not to do in some situations and look for the great things that they're doing. And you may see some new innovation from that level. It's not terribly common. I've played plenty in the Silver brackets, and usually just see people trying to follow the meta and having varied degrees of success doing so. But we shall see what happens in this match as soon as we get going. Of course, I am available for live chat in the twitch.tv chat. If you are viewing live, you can feel free to ask me questions or comment during the show. As I said before, well, there's a lot in there. As I said before, of course, we are waiting for the game to get going, and while I am in game, I'm not actually able to view the chat unless we come to a pause or something like that. Sometimes you'll see me streaming a tournament match in a best of 3 or best of 5 or something like that, in which case there will be a lot of opportunities there in an event of any technical difficulties and pauses and such like that for me to catch up in the chat and discuss what has been happening at twitch.tv/FilibusterFox. Okay, twitch.tv/FilibusterFox. Now, if you're joining us from the League of Legends General Discussion Forum, where I finally, on the 20th episode, I believe, this is, posted up there to kind of advertise a little and see if we can get some more viewership. I would like to thank you for tuning in and giving the stream a chance. There are lots of streams posted up there. Most of them are a good waste of time. I do not think mine is, but we'll see. Some people will benefit from this more than others. Now, as soon as this magnificent fellow here finishes his queue up into this ranked match and gets into game, we'll get started with the first spectation. What you'll expect from this is I'll be shoutcasting during the event, during the game, and throughout the game, I may occasionally rewind a little to look at something again, discuss or analyze the situation that led to the points and why things are happening the way they are at this point in the game. Is that Tristana ahead in farm? Is this why she's suddenly coming back after going B and just stomping the Graves she's against? I don't know. We're not seeing a game yet, but that's a theoretical situation, and I'm going to try to explain as we go what has led to that point. Alrighty, they are in pick. And let's just close that to not have that foul language come on to the stream. He apparently got stuck with support, so we're going to see what exactly is going down. Now, Magnificent, I know, usually plays jungle, so I have not seen him play much support. I do not know how good he is at it, or how he knows his ward placement and such like that. Ward placement is a big thing for me. I was a main support player in my 5s team last season, and ward placement was something I constantly drilled into my team, where the ideal place to put the wards you have is. And it's so important in turning the tide of a game. So many times during the stream, I've seen teams get caught out due to their bad ward placement. And almost ready to go here. Come on. Anyways, that bad ward placement can kill a team. If the other team has good ward placement, they see, hey, this Ezreal's out farming mid and no one's nearby. The other guys are far back in the jungle. Let's sneak around where they don't have warded and come up behind them. 5 minutes into the queue, waiting on that to get going. Just about to get started here into the first match of the night. Now, usually the show goes on for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the length of the games. It usually only goes at minimum 40 to 45 minutes. Try to do 2 matches if it's short, 1 match if it's a particularly long one, or maybe 3 if they're very short, or it's a best-of-3 tournament match. In this case, we'll probably do 2 matches tonight, depending on how long it goes, and this is going to be fairly mid-ranked silver elo ranked queues for, and that's an ARAM, never mind. Like, my high elo friends are currently not queuing up, so due to the lack of featured streams, we're having to make do right now with silver. So, for the blue team, we have Sully Vegas as Veigar. We'll see him going mid. We have Bob Jack as Aurelia up in the top lane. Magnificent as Sona, the friend that we are spectating on my list, with Lava Lamp 21 in the bot lane, Sona, and Sivir. In the jungle, blue team has Salathan as Malphite. For the purple team, we have, in the bot lane, Kernrego as Varus, with supporting, looks like Lulu, Aidsky, say Aidsky. I'm going to go with Aidsky. Aidsky as Lulu in the bot lane with that of Varus. In the mid lane, we'll see a Morgana, Skyo21. Up top, Beef Patty Hat, the Singed. That has a very fantastic name that I will enjoy saying throughout this match. Beef Patty Hat up there will give plenty of trouble for this Aurelia top. Aurelia and Singed both coming into their own a few levels into that laning phase, a little prone to that early harass from an opponent. So we may see one of them try to take the advantage of the other's weakness, but once they both hit about level 6, they're both very difficult champions to dislodge in that top lane. It may turn into a farm fest there. And, of course, the jungler for the purple team is Eat You Cat, the Jax in the jungle. So, looking at these matchups, we've got a Veigar against Morgana mid. That spell shield for Morgana could be game-changing there. Good timing on there to avoid the Veigar stun can really turn a fight around. Veigar able to put so much burst down if that stun hits Morgana. If Morgana is building up AP and his ult is up, just so much damage bursting down onto Morgana. If she doesn't have time to get her spell shield up, she'll be in a lot of trouble. Of course, if she misses the spell shield on the stun, she may still get it up in time after the stun to react to Veigar's W. I believe it is W, the one that comes from this guy, that I cannot remember the name of at this moment, since I don't play nearly enough Veigar. She may be able to react in time to get that shield up quickly enough to reduce that damage quite well. Having a little bit of stumbling blocks while talking about this main lane, so I'm going to move right up to the top. We've already mentioned that Aurelia and Singed both come into their own about 4 to 6 levels into their gameplay, which means early on, maybe neither of them will be particularly aggressive. We'll remain to see how these two play it out, but they're both weak early on, so that makes them pretty even early on. And it goes higher and higher. They'll both have trouble killing each other as they both out-tank each other's damage early on. Aurelia more likely to be able to 1v1 the Singed mid-game there, but Singed very able to just tank up and farm away. In the jungle, Jax and Malphite. Malphite with that fantastic team initiate. Jax with the more killing capability than the Malphite. But that area effect knock-up from Malphite's ult, very fantastic. Down in the bot lane with Sivir and Sona. A lot of poke there if they can keep the mana managed fairly well. Against, let's see, it was Varus and Lulu. Not much sustain there. There's the Lulu shield, but that's not a lot compared to the amount of poke and sustain we'll see out of Sivir and Sona. So I'm going to give the slight advantage in the bottom lane to the Sivir-Sona combination. Varus and Lulu able to do so much damage with an effective combination there. Lulu very good at poking, and Varus also very good at poking. But with the heal available for Sona, if they do not burst them down, then Sivir and Sona may take the lane as long as they get enough damage in return in these trades that they can keep it fairly equalized. If they get too much damage taken and don't deal any return, that sustain's not going to help them as much as Lulu and Varus will be able to just bully them pretty hard. Jack's going to be a very effective gank in the bot lane against the AD carry in the Sona. He's very good at killing AD carries. That is one of the best things about Jax. Very nice at getting in there and killing some squishies. Malphite, not so good at killing the squishies, but really good at holding them in position for the ones who are to kill. Varus and Lulu with the escapes only available through Flash, Cleanse, and of course Lulu's ult. Lulu's slow. That's some nice peel, but it's certainly not a dash or anything for Varus. Sivir also lacking a dash. A little peel from Sona. She's got that speed buff for Sivir and the ult that will, of course, stun everyone in a fairly large area. Sivir's ult will give her a bunch of move speed to either chase or retreat with, and her spell shield will help defend her against any incoming Malphite ganks. If she can get that spell shield up before Malphite's ult hits, she may be saved from a pretty terrible situation. That will also help her get some mana back from all the poke that Varus and Lulu will be throwing if she's quick on the reflexes and is able to hit that spell shield in time. Alright, just waiting on the last two to finish loading up in the situation, and we'll be good to go here in this first match of the night. I am FilibusterFox, and you can join me once again every day at twitch.tv/FilibusterFox at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, for some League of Legends shoutcasting. That's right, every night I'm here, and I'm ready to go. As soon as Morgana loads in, we'll get started here. We'll have a look at what they do in this level 1 jungle, see if either of these teams tries an invade, or if anyone gets caught out of position here for an early first blood, or if we're just going to see a pretty defensive normal take the blue first and then move on for the rest of the jungle. Jack's able to start at either red or blue. Malphite, a little more blue dependent than red, but he could get away with starting at red with a bit of help. Alright, and we see a Biscuit and a Ghost Reward on the Lulu, and just a Biscuit on Sona, so we have a quick look at what their support masteries are set up to. And we'll wait to see some items built. Veigar grabbing a Mana Stone and nothing else, and just running out to lane there. No potions or anything. It could be a very risky move. Aurelia starting, of course, with flasks and potions, as a lot of top laners are doing these days. Sivir with, what do you have, Sivir? You have boots and potions, and wards and potions, and a mana pendant for the Sona. Malphite, of course, starting with Hunter's Machete and 5 potions, one of the most standard jungle builds for just about anyone. Posing, we'll go ahead and start with the jungler, because that's where we left off. He has cloth armor and 5 potions. Sorry, that's Singed. He's actually the top laner. The jungler, Jax, there he is, way back here, is actually starting with Hunter's Machete and 5 potions, just like his opponent. Morgana not yet having bought any items. Lulu down here with plenty of wards to go around, some potions, and of course, the mana pendant to build into Philosopher's Stone. Varus starting boots and pots, just like his opposing AD carry. Some similar builds here, with the exception of mid lane, Morgana going the potion route here. 13 mana potions. Holy cow, Morgana. I am impressed by your choice there. Not caring at all to stick around and get potions, that mana. She's going for the fact that Morgana has that passive spell vamp, starting at level 1 with 10% spell vamp. She's just going in to throw down her W wherever she can and just keep herself sustained by keeping mana levels. This helps until she's able to get that early blue buff. Morgana, very, very strong with the blue buff, but if you build an early Rod of Ages and perhaps a Chalice, it's much less necessary than perhaps on other mids, such as Anivia or Cassiopeia. Veigar, of course, being very aggressive with his 1 CS already, and his mana crystal, that Sapphire Crystal, just all alone there. Morgana's got a lot of mana regen from those potions. She has a chance to be very aggressive once she hits level 2 here. You're going to see some snares coming out from this Morgana, trying to hit Veigar and just harass him in every opportunity she can. Up top, as I've said before, both Aurelia and Singed a bit late starting in this top lane. Both fairly strong when they get a couple of levels and a little bit vulnerable at the early game. But that common shared weakness means that they should both do pretty well early on. Singed is, of course, getting this early level advantage here, so that's going to give him a bit of a head start here and a little more capability to the last hit than Aurelia will have. But that minion's going to push up nicely, and he's going to be more vulnerable to jungle ganks here. He's already going B at level 2. Really? No, he's coming back. Down in the bot lane, we see Varus and Lulu doing a good job of poking down the opposing lane here. A nice move by Lulu, of course, throwing her little pet dragon onto Sivir, and then using that to Q both Sona and Sivir. Malphite coming for the gank, but there's a ward there. Malphite sees it as it's placed just as you get here. The gank mid by Jax being enough to kill off Veigar with Morgana's Ignite, barely getting out of there with hit points remaining. Up top, we see Aurelia getting aggressive on Singed, both at about half health here, but Aurelia is starting to get that sustain from her hidden style. Singed, that Q, starting to get leveled up, so it's doing some more significant damage. Veigar ganking the bot lane here. That teleport giving an opportunity to teleport right to Blue's wards and go for the gank, but not quite doing enough. The Blues bot lane was too far away behind their tower to actually help in that situation, and Lulu just calmly walked away. Having a look at the gold situation at this point, red team does have first blood on Veigar, giving them a bit of a 400 gold advantage here. Veigar now coming back to mid lane. 10 farm to Morgana's 15. Not as far behind as he could be, considering how much time he spent out of lane here between the death and the teleport to bot. But we will see how well he recovers from the situation here. Already coming in and stacking up his Q very nicely there. Malphite looking like he wants to come mid. You just, hey, see him roll around here and try to get on Morgana. Morgana still with 10 health or mana potions remaining, but has very low mana at this moment. She should pop one of those potions here soon, lest she get ganked and not have enough mana for all of her spells. Hitting the snare on Veigar leaves her vulnerable to Malphite, but Malphite spell shield will stop your spell damage as well as your slow, and she's just going to sit there with no mana and pop a potion. A little bit of fear perhaps put in the mid, but otherwise an ineffective gank. Up top, Jax had paid a visit for Aurelia, but Aurelia was not there. Having gone B, Singed is going to push up to the tower and maybe go B himself to... or looks like he's coming mid for a gank on Veigar, or an attempt to counter jungle what is an empty jungle. No, he's just going to sit there, put it down a ward at the blue ramp. I probably would have gotten a little farther and gotten the timing on the blue jungle. Of course, wolves did come up just in time, but that does leave him as pretty risky. It is a debate whether or not you want to be doing that before you get boots as a top laner. Taking a lot of damage from Aurelia here, just walking around trying to poison her down, but Aurelia just hitting it and not really taking that much damage in return. She's going to hit and style that right back up, as Singed is going to be forced to go B here. Down in the bot lane, Sivir and Sona very low on mana. Lulu very low on health, but Varus is fine. And doing some nice poke to Sivir. Sivir needing to time some spell shields better. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we're going to back up a little here and see what happened. The ult from the ult from Morgana, hitting Veigar down very low and then finishing him off with the snare when it finished off cooldown, avoiding Veigar's stun and just sticking around there, giving another kill for this mid Morgana. 1 assist for Jack so far from that first gank, but now she's getting very ahead here and using these potions to just stay in lane and farm and get that level advantage over Veigar, who is level 5 to Morgana 7. Morgana possibly may be able to recharge her ult cooldown before Veigar hits 6. Veigar just barely into level 5, not even close to leveling up to 6. So that's going to give plenty of time for Morgana to get that ult back. So if Veigar tries something, she'll have it available once again. Meanwhile, down bot, Sivert picking up some more mana here. Sona's still very, very low. Lulu having gone B for a Philosopher's Stone, but Sona, not yet having had the opportunity, is falling behind a little on gold per 5 at this point. The longer she waits down there, the further ahead Lulu is going to get. Jax ready for a gank in the top lane on Aurelia. Aurelia being kited around in the poison a little, but Singe doing not that much damage quite yet. That flip is going to help out a little, but the angle wasn't quite right for them to cut her off from retreating to the tower. So she's going to pop a potion, maybe stay in lane here. With the help of her flask and Hinton style, she's going to have plenty of sustain to stick around. Jax now heading down to the mid lane. Malphite there, ready to gank. This could turn against the blue team if if Morgana gets a very nice spell shield. Veigar's ult completely missing everyone. And both teams just kind of disengaging without damage. Already back up to full health, Aurelia in the top lane. Able to put a lot of damage on this Singed. Aurelia with a good advantage up top. And we'll see how that extends in the late game for this match. Sivert and Sona up in the bot lane, just farming away. We'll have a look at the farm in the bot lane. We have Sivert with 34, Tavares' 36. Pretty close all together. Both supports still with 0, although Lulu has the Philosopher's Stone, while Sona does not. So that is giving a passive gold advantage for the bot lane over time. And that's going to continue to extend as Lulu has 1,370 gold to Sona's 1,510. Sona. Maybe Sona has more runes for gold per 5, which the Philosopher's Stone is not making up the difference for. Sona with the gold advantage here. Very nice there. Perhaps we're seeing more aggressive runes than gold per 5 on Lulu. Let's back up a bit here and see what happened up top. Aurelia got ganked here, but let's see how this goes down. She's at full health. Singe is starting to B, but Morgana and Jax both coming up to do some action. Singe changes his mind about going B and goes right back into lane. Morgana coming for the cutoff here. Aurelia queuing right over to Singe. Singe with the flip, and Morgana ult locking her in place. The harass from Jax being the final blow on the poor 3v1 ganked Aurelia. Losing her top lane advantage there, giving a chance for Jax to get some tower damage up while Singed goes B. Malphite coming to babysit the top lane against that Jax pushing tower will prevent much damage from going down. Bot still pushed up against their tower. No wards for either team in the bottom river or jungle. Very open for any team who wants to gank down here. This is a fairly poor situation. No wards available on any of the characters down here. Veigar looking to take advantage of this. This lack of wards here is giving him an opportunity between building up his Tear of the Goddess first here. This is only item so far. He's coming down to try and gank, but the enemy team already left. Despite the lack of wards, Veigar's just going to waste his time here before heading back mid while Morgana pushes. Morgana getting a tower damage advantage here, but not by as much as you'd expect given the time that Veigar has been out of lane. We're going to see a blue buff going for Morgana here. Morgana already with a needlessly large rod, a mana crystal, and boots. Perhaps we will see a Rod of Ages after that needlessly large, or maybe she's going to skip the Rod of Ages altogether and build right into something else. We shall see how that goes. Up top, Singed being singed and farming up entire waves at once, taking a lot of harass from Aurelia. And the Ignite there, Aurelia may be able to put down enough damage for the Singed to die here. The Ignite wears off, Aurelia quite not able to catch up, not getting the cooldowns she needed to jump right to him to finish him off. Now Aurelia very low, along with Singed, both at a risk here if they fight. Oh, that very nice flip from Singed is going to do tons of damage to Aurelia. That Ignite is going to do it. Aurelia is going to die here in the Poison Trail. Not able to chase down that Singed. So aggressive there. Just continuing to chase Singed through the Poison while Ignited. Maybe thinking she had no chance either way and may as well try to get the kill in exchange. But no, that's going to give Red Team a 4-0 kill lead here for a 2k gold advantage. Malphite coming up to kill Singed, but he's going to be a little too late, so he's just going to have to defend the tower and the farm. Lulu chasing down Magnificent as Sona here. Lava Lamp 21 taking a bit of harass from, that very interesting Sona ult, not proving to be terribly effective, or is it? Very aggressively flashing in there by Sivir to chase down afterwards. Lulu ulting herself to slow them down. Varus stayed in a little too long there trying to protect Lulu, who is going to finish off Sivir. Varus getting away with barely any health, and now Magnificent is in trouble here. The Veigar teleporting down bot to keep her safe and perhaps try and pick up a kill, but the Lulu flashes out of range, and another used up teleport by Veigar. Here comes Jax to perhaps finish one of these. Going to cut off Veigar on his own. Veigar's stun still down. It'll be up in 7 seconds, but he's going to die long before then. Jax just needs one more jump cooldown up. Going right under the tower. The stun's going to be up shortly. He's going to be a lot of trouble here under the tower. Veigar looks like... Oh, Veigar gets taken down just barely, but Jax is going to die for it. Morgana taking the mid tower while Veigar was tomfooling around in the bot lane, but Sona, of course, picking up that last kill. Malphite heading mid to see if he can stop this Morgana from continuing to push. For some reason, I wish to call Lulu just now. The spell shield from Morgana preventing that slow from doing anything. Missing her snare completely, though. The bushes there is not a place where Malphite can walk Morgana, so maybe you should point it more towards him next time. Up in the top lane, we have Bob Jack against Beef Patty Hat. There's the name I've been wanting to say. Beef Patty Hat being aggressive as Singed. The only death on the blue team, or the only kill on the blue team so far, is on Jax, who had dived down in bot lane on the Veigar, getting caught in the stun before he could finish off Veigar's remaining health. Morgana being aggressive here, not having ult, having just used it to initiate very poorly in that last fight. Up top, we have a dead Aurelia. What happened here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look a little further back. Okay, she's under tower, very low here. Singed, of course, just pushing up the lane. Beef Patty Hat, as soon as I started ignoring him, goes in for a kill. Let's see. There's the Sona kill on Jax. Let's see what happens up here. Did I go back too far? I may have. But let's see anyways. Aurelia under the tower. Beef Patty Hat just going right past to farm up behind her. Morgana coming in for the gank. She's going in behind Aurelia, tanking the tower for the Singed. Aurelia going right in for the stun on Morgana. Morgana getting away before the stun on her ult lands, but the damage from it was enough for Singed to easily finish off Aurelia. Minions are going to do a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot to this tower before Malphite comes to stop them. Malphite just barely missing Singed in the bush. Veigar now lacking a tower, going to have to try and farm up. He's at 60 farm now with 1 assist. His tier slowly getting built up here, but he's in a precarious situation due to the lack of a mid tower here. Very vulnerable to a gank whenever possible, although he's not in danger of it now due to Morgana and Singed just having to go on B, and Jax very clearly pushing up the mid lane. He's going to be in trouble in the future if he tries to stay mid on his own. Some nice poke by Varus using his long range to poke down that Sivir while she's running around with spell shield on. A bit of a window after every time she uses that spell shield, costing her mana and giving them a chance to throw poke in before it recharges. Morgana resuming the heavy push to mid. Not much ward protecting her from either side in the jungle. They've got a ward here and a ward by Dragon, but that's not going to do a lot protect her if she is pushed up to the opposing tower. Sivir and Sona ulting in. Varus caught up just barely by Sona's ult, not quite hitting Lulu. The Lulu ult saving Varus from a painful demise there. That extra health being more than enough to slow down the opposition. Morgana coming in behind Sona here. Sona's in a lot of trouble if there's a fight. Sivir very low as well. Oh, Morgana may pick up a double kill here. Missing everyone with her spells. Sivir's just going to walk right through the pool, having given the opportunity for Morgana to miss. But Morgana still picks up the kill with the flash there. Veigar's here to try and stop them, but Morgana's cooldowns are back, except the spell shield. She takes some damage, but Veigar takes most of his. If she can get close enough, that is a dead Veigar. Morgana, is your ult up? Yes, it is. Once in range, here it goes. The ult, or the Q. The ult. Ult. Oh, there. No, no. Ult. Are you going to ult, or are you just going to try and save it and cut him down? Oh, the stun being enough. Probably should have ulted there, Morgana. I know it seems like a waste for Veigar that low at health, but I believe it would have been worth it for the kill instead of letting him get away like that. That's fine. I can understand her not wanting to use that fantastic ult to kill an almost dead Veigar, but that stun was going to come back up eventually. If you're going to get stunned and not be able to kill the Veigar, you may as well blow your ult to get the kill. It'll recharge eventually. You'll be fine. Minions may be able to finish off this tower here. Not quite doing it. Tower remaining with 57 hit points. The blue minion wave able to defend this in this situation. Morgana taking up a blue buff here with the help of Jax. Singed pushing up top with no opposition. 3 of the blue team are mid, and he's going to get some free damage on this tower long before anyone can get there to stop them. He may just go farm the minion wave here and keep his minions doing the damage, but Aurelia is going to be here to fight him now. Aurelia now 2 levels behind Singed. A lot of trouble. Singed can very easily just flip her over and kite her in the poison for a bit for some free damage while the minions continue to hit that tower, and he just continues farming between. But now he's being collapsed on. He's going to have to go past Aurelia if he's going to be safe at all. Malphite and Veigar easily on their way. We're going to see a lot of trouble here for Singed. And in comes Malphite. Oh, up goes the Singed. Aurelia still chasing, putting herself at risk of a death here. There goes the flip and the kill on Aurelia. Aurelia, you had help there. You didn't need to continue chasing. I know you want the kill, but don't be greedy when you're going to just feed that Singed another kill to take one for Veigar. Malphite and Veigar more than capable of finishing off that kill. Aurelia giving her life needlessly there. Another kill advantage for the red team. Now 9 kills ahead, but only a 4.3k gold lead. I say only, but that is a very significant lead. A very nice flash ult from Sona here that's going to catch Lulu out of position, but Lulu ulting to save herself. Very low at health, but she's getting away. Sivir very, very low, but Veigar's coming to help. He misses the stun once again when coming to gank the bot lane, and is going to get nothing but a couple of minions. Both teams getting away, but wait, here comes Morgana. Sona goes down to Morgana from behind. Sivir caught between. Oh, Veigar landing the stun now. Missing the snare from Morgana. Morgana, is your ult up? No, it is not. You're out of luck here. You may be able to pick up the kill here, but everyone is on you. Oh, no kill for Morgana, and she dies to the kite of Veigar and Malphite. Jax coming around to the mid lane to push out a bit here. Singed rolling through mid too. Aurelia having a chance to push out here, but if she does not react to this push in the mid lane, the red team may be able to take a tower on top of that team fight there. Still 9 kills ahead and that 4.5k gold lead. We did a nice job of equalizing that a little bit after Sona got caught by Morgana. Singed and Jax just diving Malphite under the tower because Singed and Jax can do it. Jax actually the one tanking the tower in that situation, leaving Singed to just sit around and do damage over time. Another tower advantage for the red team. Red having lost no towers to Blue's 3 towers, giving them a nice gold lead there in addition to their 10 kill lead now. At 18 minutes in, this is looking disastrous for the blue team, giving up a 5.8k gold advantage. Still no dragons or barons taken for either team here, but Singed aggressively pushing up this top lane. Morgana going to be able to pressure this mid lane. Only the blue buff awarded to protect them in the jungle. They could use a couple more wards here to push out safely. With more jungle control, they would be able to split push and farm as much as they like. But here they have to be a little careful. Morgana missing a snare quite horribly on this Malphite. Salafin getting a little poke on Morgana, but not nearly enough to really matter. Singed 1v1ing Aurelia up top, but here comes 3 from the blue team to get onto him. They see it coming. Because of that ward in the jungle, very well placed. Ward in the jungle. They could use a couple more, but oh my goodness, ward the jungle when you're going for the inner towers. So you can do it however you like. Singed easily juking most of the blue team there, but Aurelia catching him with a stun. Veigar catching him with his stun. And Singed ghosting and running right out of there with his ult. Once again, catching Aurelia on the aggressive. Attempting to kill him, but picking up a kill on Aurelia in addition. Veigar, again, getting the last hit for the kill on Singed after killing Aurelia. But here's Morgana in the mid lane, doing some damage to mid tower because, hey, 4 members from the blue team are chasing Singed around. Let's get pushy. Sona going B. Oh, wait, never mind. Delaying that B. The ult nowhere near Morgana. I do believe Magnificent is not well practiced on Sona because these ults have been pretty haphazard. Varus picking off that bottom tower, now a very nice lead for the red team, keeping that 5 tower advantage to 0. Sivir getting very caught there. Lulu ult keeping Morgana alive, or did it? Nope, she is caught by the Veigar stun and stuck without any luck there. Veigar gets out before getting killed with his low health. Lulu now in a lot of trouble, but they're kiting pretty well against his blue team here. Sona without mana is not a huge threat to them. And Malphite and Veigar were both brought very low in health and could not chase. Jax continuing the push on this mid tower, seeing if he can expose this inhibitor, but it's very low and he's just going to stun Aurelia and get right out to safety. Singed coming around to interfere with mid here, or sorry, the red here, catching a very low health Malphite, who's going to flash over the wall, but is it going to be enough to escape? Varus and Lulu are coming. Veigar is stopping them, but Singed is going right into the tower, getting caught by Veigar's stun, but walking right through it. Varus picking up the kill with his very long-range poke there. Singed getting stopped by the Sivir spell ult for a fling, allowing Varus to push up the tower a little, while Jax takes mid and starts pushing this inhibitor. Aurelia not reacting at all, still pushing out top lane. Singed doing his best to hold Sivir and Sona in this bot lane. Blue really needs to get to mid to stop this inhibitor from going down, but doing so with their team here. Jax going right in on Sivir, almost getting the kill. Is Singed going to be able to finish it off? No, he is not. Sivir surviving with barely anything. Singed dying as well for a double kill for Malphite. Turns out Aurelia wasn't needed that much, but hey, that inhibitor's at half health and it's now exposed. One more split push like that, and they're going to take that thing down, and they're going to have a huge, huge lead on top of what they already have. 9 kill advantage for the red team with a 6.8k gold lead. It's 6,800 gold at the 22-minute mark, a huge lead. We're looking at farm Varus with 124, Morgana and Singed both with 127, and Jax with 141, leading the team in that. Against the opposing team, the highest was Veigar with 116. A nice person to have lots of farm on, but their highest on the blue team has less farm than 4 members of the red team, in addition to them having the kill lead and the tower lead. That gold advantage just so heavily favoring the red team is going to be a lot of trouble for the blue team if they're going to have any chance to come back. Red team picking up the dragon for an even larger gold advantage here. Finally, the first dragon of the match at 23 minutes, bringing them up to a nice 7.6k gold advantage. Dominating lead in this match, and blue team is going to have to pull some tricks out of their pants in order to win this match. I don't know why they would keep tricks in their pants, but it seems as good a place as any. Most magicians would keep those up their sleeves, but I think in the pants is a much better place for those tricks. Morgana trying to pull something out of her pants to take Aurelia down with. Malphite now out of range to help here. Very nicely maneuvered by Morgana there to catch Aurelia. Hitting the ult there. Aurelia's not going to be able to escape this. The ult stunning Aurelia, the ignite bringing her low. Morgana once again missing the snare, but coming around to see if she can catch Aurelia trying to escape to the base. Aurelia between mids. Is there a snare? There it is. She's going to land the pool, and it's going to be a dead Aurelia. Oh, Aurelia jumping out of the pool, just barely surviving with 150 hit points. Morgana's excellent snare almost resulting in a kill, but being denied by a very quick-thinking Aurelia to jump right at the enemy, who is the biggest threat to get out of the pool. With Morgana spells on cooldown, Jax is easily going to kill Veigar because that stun gives him plenty of time to just auto-tag Veigar down. Because Veigar has no defense at all, no armor, magic resist, nor health built at all on this character. And just cooldown reduction and ability power and mana. That will not save you from Jax. Veigar, you should maybe build a health pendant, at least, something at all to make you survive more than about half a second. Red team's minions pushing out the top lane, while bot lane pushes out with Jax and a bit of minions. Sivir and Sona going to be easily able to hold him off here. Sona flashing in and proceeding to just slow him a little with her auto attack. And once again, is it going to be enough for them to catch him? Is he going to die here? Thank you to that slow from the Sona auto attack. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch him. It's going to be really close here. Oh, there it goes. Sona picking up the kill on Jax just barely as he gets into the bush. Very nicely maneuvered by the blue team there. Nice use of the slow and not missing the ult there, which was on cooldown. Red team looking like they want to push something up and show them that even without Jax, they can still pressure this because, hey, Singed has 3,800 hit points about. And it's going to be pretty hard to kill him unless he's all alone and you're all focusing him. So he's just going to push out this mid lane here, which does lack an inhibitor, so Red team has the super minions pushing out here. And Red is picking up Baron like they want to do it. Blue with no wards on that half of the map, only down in the bot half. Red with only their wards on the Baron side of the map, which is the ideal side to have it on at this point in the game. They've got plenty of forewarning. Morgana, your spell shield doesn't really help against Baron's damage. Not at all. And Red is easily going to pick up this Baron unless Blue senses it. They may be moving out for this Baron buff. They see it. They sense it. They're going for it. The 5 from blue team. Jax is going to be there in time to fight it. Baron may yet be alive when they get there, but it's going to be very low. Varus in the back able to kill it off. Singed going right into the 5-man of blue team, distracting them from the Baron. Blue team picking up the Baron. Malphite very ballsy there, going right in, giving his life to get his blue team that buff. Singed dying to have them, red team have the chance at it. But red team blew it. Malphite hitting a very nice smite there. Morgana just barely alive, but she's going to die to Aurelia there. Lulu escaping with no health at all, but Jax and Aurelia 1v1ing in the Baron pit. The only ones remaining other than Lulu after that fight. Lulu too low to help, but she comes in anyways. Jax alive. This leaves Jax and Lulu the only ones alive in this fight. 16 seconds before any of the blue team respawns. We're at a 14-kill lead at the 26-minute mark for the red team. They've got a cozy 8,000 gold advantage here. And their super minions are already knocking on the front doors of the Nexus. Sona and Malphite not far from spawning, but Jax is going to take a tower before they can get there. Lulu is here, but she has no health. She needs to leave pretty quickly unless they're going to take this tower. Sivir now up. They're in a lot of trouble. Malphite instantly kills that Lulu with a little bit of help from the speed buff of Sona. Jax getting right out. Only one Nexus tower remaining for the blue team. That and the inhibitor being down will force the other lanes to automatically push on their own as the minions get tied up, fighting off these super minions in mid. Blue team losing the inner tower in bot lane and very about to lose the inner tower in top lane. It's very low. Sona and Malphite coming up to stop it. Some minions right behind them, so they're going to be able to protect this tower, but it's only going to have 400 hit points here, and it's going to be a vulnerable spot on this team. Singed continuing to push out mid lane for some reason. The ideal opportunity for them, of course, is to take these remaining towers while mid lane pushes itself, giving some free mana to Sivir as he tries to fling her with a spell shield up. Morgana coming to take some raise, or perhaps skip the raise and go right down to help Singed push bot. Varus, or one of the other members, I'm not really sure who pinged that. I'm going to assume Varus wanting to push up top lane along with Jax and maybe Lulu, while Morgana and Singed pressure bot lane. Force the blue team to split up between all 3 lanes. Minions will automatically push out mid. Morgana and Singed will push out bot, and of course the 3 remaining will push top, forcing this blue team to react to all places at once, and at some point they're going to be at a disadvantage, and red team will take advantage of it. For example, inner tower and top lane going down. Only 3 towers remaining for the blue team. Still no tower kills for blue. With red lacking any sort of disadvantage here. They've got complete map control. Sona hitting the ult only on Jax there. Jax with the Guardian Angel not really carrying. Nice initiate from Malphite there, but Sivir already almost dead. Dies to Lulu. Jax does go down, but Guardian Angel going to keep him in the fight. Malphite very low and having to get out of here as Varus continues going in on Malphite along with Singed. They're going to try to push for the win here. If they can get one more kill, they've got it in the bag. Morgana very low, though. Jax and Lulu just going to take down this top tower, and they're going to take both of these top and mid inhibitors and keep the pressure on. Malphite re-engaging the home guard boots after having healed up. but he just lands a slow on Morgana before getting harassed back down himself. He's getting kited around by all 5 of this blue team here. Aurelia not really helping much. Sona and Veigar finally getting into the fight, not before they lose that mid tower. 1 tower remaining defending these inhibitors here. Red team is pressuring it, but Morgana is in trouble. Was the focus of the tower till she's Zhonyaed, but she's out of position and gets caught by Aurelia for the kill. Singed cutting Aurelia down a little with the slow. That bottom tower, very, very low. Only 500 hit points remaining. But Red Team is going to wisely disengage here. They're all very low on health. And Red Team has this defending advantage. The minions aren't quite going to kill this top inhibitor, but it's at about half health. It'll slowly regen there. But as soon as Red Team energizes themselves, they're going to take another dragon to increase their lead even further from the 10k they have. As soon as Red re-coordinates and can take down this tower and inhibitor, they've got the game in the bag. If they can kill 1 more inhibitor or both inhibitors here, this 1 Nexus tower will not be able to defend itself. All they have to do is tie up the blue team's champions, and they will win. 13 kill lead for the red team. 10.3k gold advantage with the dragon having gone down. Blue catching up in farm now because they're constantly getting to farm inside their base. But it's not going to be enough. 30-minute mark with a 13 kill deficit is a hard thing to come back from. As you can see, they haven't been able to push down any of these outer towers, all of which are just a little damaged, not even any of them at half or less. Red team just dominating this match here, going right in for the tower as blue team is pushed out in a couple different ways. Jackson and Lulu doing what they can to take down that tower while Singed pushes away the minions and makes sure that these minion waves push into that Nexus tower. Veigar hitting the stun on Jax, and Jax dying almost instantly between Veigar and Sivir. Lulu soon to follow. Singed now 1v5 up top. Morgana coming to help. This is an opportunity for Varus to go down and push out the blue lane and start pressuring that remaining tower. This inhibitor at 500 hit points just barely holding on there. Red team looking for an opportunity to split a blue team. Varus going right in and dying instantly as a result. Maybe he was looking somewhere else there, but he walked right into the 5-man of blue team by himself for almost no gain. In fact, I'll rephrase that from almost no gain to absolutely no gain and quite a bit of a disadvantage there. This is the kind of thing that blue needs to come back into this match, but it's not going to be enough. Just this. Aurelia needs to pick off the Singed here. Down Singed goes. Morgana's too far to punish her for it. And blue team's just going to pick up 4 kills for none. Oh, and Morgana caught by Veigar and Aurelia here, but that ult going to stun Aurelia very nicely. And Aurelia dies in the pool of Morgana. Veigar also low, both at risk of fighting each other. Morgana easily burst downable by Veigar if he lands the stun and has his ult available. Veigar, is your ult up? Yes, it is. That spell shield may not be enough. It is not enough. Morgana spell shielding the stun, but not the damage. Jax coming in to see if he can take down this inhibitor. Only Sivir and Sirona are in the base to defend. Malphite not terribly far away. They may see him coming, but Veigar is caught out of position and may die here if Jax checks the bush. Jax, no, Jax does not check the bush. He's just going to push out the minion wave and make sure these inhibitors get pushed constantly. If red team loses champions, what do they have to do? They have to push. They have to keep the pressure on and keep blue team from getting out and even taking a single tower here. Blue team closing up this gap a little. They're only 8,000 gold behind, giving a nice advantage here. And red wants to do Baron once again. Blue with an opportunity to actually fight this because top and bot are pushing out. And the inhibitor's not far from respawning. No war for the blue team here, but they sense it and they see it coming. They know the timing on this. Malphite having stolen it last time. Red team pinging to back off here. They don't want to actually finish the Baron. Blue team quite looking like they missed the ward just a little there. Singed walking right into Veigar's stun, not really caring. Taking a bit of harass there as they wait for Morgana to catch up to fight. The longer they tie up the blue team here at Baron, the sooner they'll have to go back. Top is pushing for red. Bot is going to push for red here soon too. And mid, of course, pushing for red. Here comes red's a chance to go in. They're going to try and catch the blue team here or take a Baron. Forcing them to stay is going to hurt them far more worse than actually even just taking the Baron buff, unless that inhibitor respawns pretty soon. Superman is going to be pushing up to the single Nexus tower, allowing all the other lanes to push out against the inhibitors. Blue about to get their inhibitor back, but their Nexus Tower already taking damage. There's a fight! And the blue buff, and down goes Lulu very quickly there. Jax losing his Guardian Angel. Blue team once again getting a bit of an advantage in the fight, but Veigar dies and Sona dies. Jax coming back in. Jax is probably going to die here. Oh, barely getting out there, but going right back in and dying. Not before Aurelia. Morgana chasing down Sivir to finish her off, and Malphite trying to finish Varus by himself, but Morgana and Sinish aren't far behind. And Malphite is going to die here to Varus on his own. This is the opportunity for Red Team to win. They're already pushed up against everything. Top inhibitor dying immediately. Beef Patty Hat quitting, thinking his team's so far ahead he needs not be there, that or he crashed. Mid inhibitor dying. Varus and Morgana going to be able to push down this tower. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, the minions are just going ahead and pushing out this and going to take that inhibitor tower the inhibitor as well, while the rest of the game pushes the blue Nexus and kills it before Veigar can even get back to fight. Veigar respawns, but completely helpless to do anything to save this Nexus. This is going to go to the red team with a 35-minute and 45-second win. A 12-kill advantage for the red team with an 11k lead in gold. No towers at all killed by the blue team, and that is what lost them this game. Unable to fight any chance that they had to take these towers and gain some map control. They were behind this whole game and never really had an opportunity to come back after about the midpoint. That brings us 53 minutes into the show. We will see about doing perhaps a second game here. Let us see. And see... let's see if he's about to play 2-play-1. See if we can get a higher elo match going. See if the Lover's X Requiem is available. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in and talk to my viewers right now. I'm going to check the chat. There's no one in the chat to let me know that anyone has any questions or comment. Please feel free to post them in the next minute or two. Okay, we'll spec ARAM because we are 55 minutes into this and don't want to go too long tonight. I'm going to have a bit of a drink and a break while we wait on the next ARAM to get started. Maybe I'll join in if they have room. We shall see. And we will go to the logo here for just a moment. Tune back in for a shoutcasted ARAM because why not? I'll be right back with you. Once again, this is FilibusterFox shoutcasting League of Legends. All right, everyone, here we go. Back into the next match. It's apparently a smaller ARAM here, 3-on-3. We'll see how this goes on Proving Grounds. All random, all mid. We've got 2 Kawaii for you as Singed, Depressed Ninja as Kale, and Lover's X Requiem as Annie. For the purple team, we have Icy Silly as Tristana, I Stiller Cookie as Mundo, and XX Swagger Not XX as Amumu. That's right. Plenty of names there, which are a lot more entertaining to say than the names from last game, with a possible exception of Beef Patty Wagon. Is closing out that general discussion that I just re-bumped up there. Thank you to whomever bumped that. I hope you are enjoying watching the show. And in a minute and 15 seconds, we're going to shoutcast this ARAM. That's right. Blue team, 3-on-3 ARAM. Too quiet for you, Depressed Ninja, and Lovers X Requiem against Icy Zilly, I Stiller Cookie, and XX Swagger Not XX. I am FilibusterFox, and you can tune in every day at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern for some shoutcasted League of Legends. As soon as Riot brings back the featured streams, we will be streaming a lot higher elo matches. In the meantime, my platinum friend here, which is the highest elo I've got, who's currently playing games on my friends list, we will spectate his ARAM. If you wish your games to be shoutcasted and spectated, go ahead and add me on League of Legends. My name is FilibusterFox. Let me know that you want me to shoutcast your games. Please, at least be gold elo if you are doing so. I'm trying to look for higher elo play so people who do tune in have an opportunity to learn. Now, this is just for a bit of fun to wrap up the stream tonight. Only going for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, depending on how fast this ARAM goes. This game hosted by Too Kawaii for you, with the Depressed Ninja and Lovers X Requiem assisting him for this fight. We've got 5 seconds before we go to the loading trees to see whose computer loads the fastest. Yes, here we go. Jumping into the League of Legends client itself, going right in for this ARAM. And we shall see who loads the fastest here very shortly. It will be a bit of a race, and we'll have fun commentating who wins by a nose and who loses by a mile. And loading right in, looks like Lovers X Requiem takes the early lead with I Stiller Cookie coming in quickly behind. Depressed Ninja not far behind, but Too Quiet for you comes up quickly behind. Who we're going to see finish first? It might be Icy Silly, almost done. All of them loading very similar speeds, and a bunch of them all going to finish at the same time. Surfer Singe finishing it first with Chitana short behind. Kale and Annie following up with less than a half a second behind. Also, Surfer Singe just barely finishing first there, the first to the summoning. And we're going to see I Stiller Cookie and XX Swagger Not XX race for last place here. Dr. Mundo looking like he's going to take up the win here with 78% loaded to Mumu's 56%. And we probably won't see much of a comeback here. It freezes up just a tad here as they finish off the loading here. Their computers looking like they were built in the Stone Ages, and they both finish off here. Looks like we'll have to give 5th place to Mundo and 6th place to XX Swagger Not XX. And right off the bat, we see Annie with boots and a Tear of the Goddess, Singed with Catalyst the Protector and 5 pots. And we're seeing Kale with the Doran's Blade, a longsword, boots, and 4 pots. Some pots on Annie to go along with the boots and the Tear of the Goddess. For the purple team, we've got Icy Silly as a life-stealing Vampiric Scepter, boots, 5 health pots, and a mana pot. Mundo coming up right behind her with a Negatron Cloak and 3, count them, 3 rejuvenation bleeds. Not bleeds, it beads. Thank you very much. Tristana going right into the bush and getting face checked in the face in return for it by Depressed Ninja, Lovers X Requiem, and Too Kawaii for you. Amumu leading up the back with a Negatron Cloak, an Amplifying Tome, and some potions. A lot of anti-AP built for them. Not much protection against Kale, but those Negatron Cloaks are going to do fairly well against Annie and Singed, giving them a lot of damage reduction against this in the early game. Annie holding on to that new particle effect stun. And have a look at that particle effect. Doesn't it look fabulous? Yes, it does. Annie opting for the 2Q level 1W build. Singed going right in, but getting caught by the Moon Bandage toss under tower. He dies right before Tristana dies. Lovers X Requiem in a lot of trouble here. Mundo and Mumu chasing him down, but Depressed Ninja takes the hit for the team. Lovers X Requiem finishing off that Mundo very nicely, and Mumu trying to kill Annie, but that's done. Keeping out of position and flashing right for, juking right around through these bushes and minions. Annie trying to kite down this Mumu as best she can. Mumu not have mana. Lovers X Requiem takes the advantage here. Mumu's popping a potion, so is Annie. But we're going to see the advantage to Lovers X Requiem there, having picked up 2 kills. Well, 1 kill, 1 assist. 1 kill, 1 assist also on Gale, and 2 assists for the Singed against the 1 kill, 1 assist on Mundo, 1 kill, 1 assist on Amumu, and the 2 assists on Tristana. Singed going right in on this low health Amumu. The slow from Kale going down, but chasing him off, Mundo going right in on the 3 from the blue team. Silly looking to do some damage here with their full health. Singed flipping Mundo right into the mass of the blue team, but Amumu comes in to help and dies as a result of it, down to Kale's flaming auto attack of fire. That's right, the ranged auto attack sword doing fantastic damage with those flaming fiery bolts of death to that to the Amumu, finishing him off nice and low. Singe going right in under tower, getting the fling onto Mundo, taking some damage himself in exchange. Are we going to see the kill go down? Yes, the Q from Annie finishing off Mundo and leaving her with the stun ready to go on Tristana. If Tristana gets close enough out of the tower, we may see a fling go down here and followed up by a stun from the Annie. Amumu going right out, getting stunned by Annie, taking a bit of damage there, and it's not going to be enough, but hey, Singe goes right in for the flip there and gets a little bit of poison on him. Kale doing a lot of good damage there to harass him right back down. Looking at some of the builds that have expanded, anything new built up since the beginning of the match. Singe goes right back in, ready to push up this minion wave and maybe catch an Amumu and kill it. Tristana would be a delicious target for the Singe to just hip thrust right at her there, flipping Mundo right into the rest of his team. Lover's X Requiem caught in the auto attack, the surrounding aura of Mundo, able to do a lot of damage there. Singe taking a bit of harass in return for taking Amumu and Mundo both down to about half health. Tristana popping a potion there, and we're seeing a lot of harass capability by this team. Tibbers going right down, just chilling out in the bottom lane here. Not really doing anything. I say the bottom lane, I mean the bottom of the lane. Tibbers tower diving at Mundo. Tibbers goes in, and he's right on top of Tristana and Mundo, doing all the damage he can. Another auto attack going down on to Amumu. 1v3ing under the tower, resulting in a dead Tibbers and a very unhappy Annie, as she is at low health and no longer has a Tibbers at which to fling fiery death upon at her opponents. Singe nice and healthy, ready to go and then flip someone out from this tower. Blue team lacking the advantage of an AD carry to poke down that tower unless Kale's E is available to switch her to a ranged auto attack. The stun hitting Tristana, but the W going off in plenty of time to get her to safety to avoid the singed fling. Annie now having to rebuild up her stacks to get a bit of stun right here, going back for the health. And let's look back at the action here. Kale auto-attacking some minions to get them nice and low so she can last hit eventually here at the end there. Picking up 27, go for the kill! Kale now level 6, Singe level 6, and Annie at level 6, all ready to ult simultaneously on the opposing level 6 team. The jump from Tristana going to save herself, leaving Mundo to die. Ult from Amumu around the tower with no one within it. Completely wasted by Swaggernaut XX with an XX in the beginning of it. Singe going right in under the tower, taking a lot of damage and harass from Tristana there. Tristana and Amumu both very, very low. Singe is going to pick up a bit of a health here as Kale finishes off the Amumu with her slow spell. Lover's X Requiem stunning Tristana and getting a little harass in it, forcing the barrier to keep Tristana alive. Tristana getting way away from the tower there. And blue team's going to push up a little more damage on this red tower. Constantly taking this kill lead there. 4 kills ahead. A nice 1k gold advantage here. Singe about to die to a tower blow there, and down he goes. Mundo picking up the kill from that with Tristana having an assist. And that means he's going to get to spend some money, though. Singe coming back here soon. He may have enough for his Rod of Ages. Will he? Will he not? We shall see. Only 6 assists. There's the Rod of Ages to go with those 2 health potions. Annie Tibbersing right on top of Tristana. That stun doing so much damage there. Tibbers ready to tower dive at the behest of Annie as soon as Lover's X Requiem decides Tibbers going in. Tibbers going right in to auto attack the tower here, doing area effect damage and taking the tower for the minion wave. Oh, Mundo getting caught by the stun from Annie, popping his ult to stay alive. Tibbers dying too soon to finish off Mundo. Mundo going back to heal up. Mundo's going to be in good shape here, but his ult will no longer be available. And one more combined, that 980 gold from Mundo will finish off his Wriggles, his Warmongs, if he stays alive long enough to do it. Singe just chilling out under tower, flipping Mundo back. Mundo very, very low, despite having previously used his ult. Kale ready to do some damage in the back there. Ults on Kale available and Singed, but not Annie. For the opposing team, Tristana has her ult, but none of the rest on her team does. Very low health on Mundo, fairly low health on Tristana. Kale and Lover's X Requiem in fairly bad shape here. Singed ready to just go in every time he feels like it because he's Singed. that tankiness adding up quickly. This Rod of Age is quickly going to get out of control for Singed. Or will we see a Warmog next from Singed? That'd amuse me. That's what I would do because I like health. Right now, health is so good. Mundo forced to flash away from Singed to avoid getting killed. Tristana once again using her W defensively instead of jumping in at the enemy. Singed flipping out Amumu here. Amumu flashing away, but is it going to be a start of poison? No, it is not. The poison is going to finish off Amumu. Tristana is very low as well, and Singed goes right in on Mundo. Mundo is going to die here, but not before killing Singed under the tower. Annie picking up the kill on Mundo. Tristana very low, but in a position where she can kill either Kale or Annie if they do not kill her first. Annie going right in, Tibbers and her Q being more than enough to kill off that low health Tristana, and they're going to have a chance to poke down this tower a bit here. We may see one of them try to execute themselves on the next tower, but it's too late for that now. Amumu and Mundo are back. They're going to stay in lane, and they're going to try and take down this tower and have a little more range to work with. Take more of the health relics into their map control so they're constantly putting up the opposing tower. And getting a nice poke on Amumu right out the gate. Amumu, let's have a look at your build, Amumu. You have an Abyssal Scepter and a Cage's Lucky Pick. Mundo, with the Warmogs not quite finished, switching around for the Emblem of Valor, building toward the Aegis. Tristana, of course, going right towards what would normally build into a Bloodthirster, but in this map built into something I cannot remember the name of that's similar to a Bloodthirster. Instead of stacking on minion kills, it just stacks on repeated attacks, kind of like Black Cleaver. For the blue team, Annie still no deaths, building up that tier. Very nice job building that first. Gold for 5 may have also been well, since you are not dying, Annie. 505 Annie going to be a big threat as soon as she goes B. Sitting on 5,000 gold is going to be an instant, maybe an instant death cap and an instant Archangel Staff if she so chooses. That may be the way she goes. She may hold off on either of those items and go for a different build, but instead, Kale getting kited down a little here by Mundo. Mundo instead walking through the poison while running his W, losing all his health regen to the fact that he's being damaged over time by himself and Singed. Kale very low health. Amumu going down very nicely, getting the kill on Kale, but Amumu dies to the tower in return. Singed putting the poison between red team and their escape. Tristana trying to finish him off, but Annie is here to put some damage back on. Mundo getting away with barely any health. Tristana picking up a health relic on the way out. And the stun available on Annie. Is it going to be enough to finish off Mundo? It looks like it. The Ignite's going down, and it does enough to kill Mundo, leaving Tristana as the only defender. 7 kill lead for the blue team with a 2K kill advantage. I mean, 2K gold advantage, not a kill advantage. 2,000 kill advantage would be a little ridiculous. Singed alive. Annie now at 606. And this tower in a lot of trouble here. Singed going right into the tower, tanking it for Annie to do the damage that she needs to kill this Tristana. Not quite enough, but that poison is going to leave Triss with no health, forcing her to use her remaining potions to stay alive. Singed just taking, well, not really taking the tower, but just standing in tower range, killing it. This tower still being ignored. Kale finally turning around to finish it off. Tibbers finally dying here. Amumu goes right in on Kale. Singed is there with low health, but goes in for the kill anyways. Kale actually getting the last hit on Amumu there before Mundo finishes off Singed. Annie in a lot of trouble now. No health potion from memory, and she's got a Mundo chasing her down. Not quite able to stun yet. She's got the stun available, but wasn't able to cast it yet. Kale's going to pick off the kill. Oh no, the Tristana ult saves the Mundo. Kale unable to finish off the kill. But Mundo and Tristana very low here. The death cat built on Annie. What else can you get, Annie? There's another needlessly large rod. She's going to have so much ability power here very soon. What are you going to build next? Just more needlessly large rods? Just build a bunch of death caps because why not? You're that far ahead. Not very efficient, but it'll do. Singed and Kale easily finishing off that low health Mundo, giving an advantage here for the blue team as Singed just goes right in for Amumu, getting that early harass. Tristana just hiding under the tower, afraid to go in against the Singed. More damage from Kale coming in on Amumu. Amumu so very, very low, no health potions to heal with, and they're going to be chased off from the health rally. Singed going right in for Amumu, right past the tower, not even caring. And here's Lover's X Requiem, the Annie, coming in for the burst on, taking off half the health of Tristana. Singed going right in afterwards. Amumu counter ganking, but hey, that doesn't actually work when you have no health, and Singed can just one-shot you. Mundo finally back with loads of health. He has his Warmogs finish, another Giant's Belt, and lots of health built. Some magic resist as well, so he's fairly tanky in the situation. But he's taking lots of damage going in 1-on-3 here. This blue team just too far ahead. The invulnerability from Kale keeping her alive a little longer as Singe comes back in. Tristana coming in to try and finish the kill on Kale or Singe, both of them very low. The cleaver from Mundo finishing off Kale, but Annie is here along with Singe to finish off Mundo. Tristana dying in the background there. And just Annie and Singe remain. Amumu's coming out to get this health relic, but he's not going to get it in time. Annie's just going to poke him down fairly nicely there. Tibbers tanking up the tower for the minion wave. Minion wave fighting the other minion wave instead of killing the tower, however. There, now they'll start damaging that tower. The Vanish Touch going on Singe, who flips Amumu over the head, getting a little more damage onto him, leaving Amumu at half health once again. Just Negatron Cloak and a Morellonomicon built up. The previous runes, very nice to prevent that healing, but not really tanky enough for the case of just not getting bursted down. And no sustain at all to get his health back when he's at half health. Mundo, of course, with plenty of sustain to get his health back, but getting stunned out of position there. Lumberjack Raccoon picking up the health relic before Singe dies. Tristana pushing the blue team out of Amumu's ult. Lumberjack Raccoon barely surprising here. Depressed Ninja in a lot of trouble as they're going to tower dive him here. Mundo going right in. Tristana picking up the kill right before it does. And they're going to get some tower damage here. Tristana pushing up the lane while Mundo just tanks the tower here. Annie doing some damage to Mundo. That tower really starting to stack up on the damage. But Annie dies to Tristana under the tower while Mundo still tanks it. Mundo, you can stop tanking the tower at any time. There you go. He needs to execute himself here or he's going to feed a kill. Or he might fail the kill anyways. No, he gets to execute off anyways. Amumu caught between tower and Singe, not a good place to be. Amumu probably going to die Singe here. Singe missing the slow, but it won't matter. He is faster than Amumu, who jukes around for the health relic. But hey, the flink's going to be up. Very shortly here. One flank. Singe now with Tristana out of position. He's going to easily kill Amumu there. Tristana trying to do as much damage as he can. The fling stopping her jump. Slow keeping her close enough for Kale to come in with her own slow and pick up the kill on Tristana. Only Mundo up now. Mundo trying to get back in the lane to defend this tower from Singed and Kale. But is he going to get there in time? Does not look good. He's not going to be able to deal enough damage with his abilities to keep them from killing his tower. Mundo now all alone against all three of the blue team, and he's going to die here from the burst that they've got to kill his health with. Singed doing all he can to just poison ahead of him. Tibbers going down and the stun hitting. But that ult from Mundo keeping him alive. So much health on Mundo. That Warmog's keeping him alive very nicely alongside with that health regen. Getting away with... Oh, not getting away. Depressed Ninja jumping forward to get the kill on Mundo. Mumu now in a lot of trouble. Ulting to keep Singed under the tower. And Singed does die under those towers as a result of it. Kale picking up the inhibitor. And the Amumu. Annie now going to damage... some good damage onto Icy Silly. A 9-kill lead for the blue team with only a 2.9k gold advantage. I'm sorry, 1.9k gold advantage. 16 minutes into this. However, in an ARAM, this is a pretty devastating lead. No inhibitor means no pushing minions. One tower down for the blue team, but that's not going to be enough for the red team to come back. Singed still dead, about to respawn now, leaving the two low-health squishies in danger. Because Mundo can easily dive in on them. They need some percent health damage, it looks like. None of that built yet. Maybe a Spirit Vicious into whatchamacallit for Annie may not be a bad move. Annie and Kale just ignoring Mundo for the kill on Tristana. Tristana's ult defending herself quite nicely as Kale ults herself. Annie just dies quite easily to the red team. Red team looking like they are trying to make a comeback here. They have a chance to. Mundo very, very tanky, able to just tank this tower for his team to kill them under. Singed finally coming out. No, wait, no, he's staying here, waiting on something. He gets the frozen heart that he wants. But is that really going to be effective? They're losing their last tower here before the inhibitor. Here he comes, looking to engage, maybe catch Tristana, or settle for a Mundo. Mundo caught behind, 1v1ing Kale here, not choosing to run through Singed's poison. Now he has no choice, he's going to die to the poison. Singed continuing to chase here, may be able to catch a Mumu as well. Mumu Banish tossing back, but he's going to get flipped further back as a result of it.
And Kale and Sinister are just going to kite him down as well. And this could be the end for the purple team. Amumu dying now. 15 seconds before Mundo comes up, and Annie is here. Both of the other people on the blue team also very high on health. They've got the minion wave to tank these towers with. Tristana hanging back as best she can. They're going to try and burst down this minion, but Singe coming up from behind with the flip, getting her away from the tower. The barrier keeping her alive and virtually unharmed. Mundo finally coming back here. And they're going to dive under the tower here. Lover's X Requiem not able to tank them, but hey, you can kill Annie before dying. Or, I mean, you can't kill Annie before dying. Annie will kill Tristana and survive thanks to the Kale ult. Mundo kiting around, not able to catch up to Annie here. Sin's trying to finish him off. Kale going for the tower instead. A nice dodge of that cleaver by Lover's X Requiem to stay alive. Mundo in a lot of trouble here. Tibbers and Singe all over him. The ult going down from Amumu, not going to save him from the poison damage. Down goes Singe. Kale falling shortly afterwards, killed by Amumu. But Amumu dies to Annie, and this is going to leave a completely undefended Nexus and a win. Oh, here comes Tristana. Can Tristana come back from this? Jump in on the minions to kill. Doesn't get to kill the minions from the jump because mid-jump she gets flung by Singe off to the side. This Nexus in quite a bit of trouble. Annie going back for a bit of health. Delaying here. They look like they want to get another kill or two before winning this. Minions not quite able to kill the Nexus before the next wave spawns. Mundo is back, and that's trouble for the blue team. This Nexus about to die here. Here I'm heavily in favor of blue. Annie dies to Tristana, not able to kill her. And Tristana's going to finish off Singe here. The barrier going to keep him alive a little longer, but not enough to even kill Tristana. And here comes a chance for the red team to come back. Their Nexus very, very low, being beat up a little by the super minion right here. Having to push out here, not going to have a whole opportunity to survive. Kale may be a little cheeky here. If she hides in this bush and red team goes past without checking it, she can go in and just backdoor that Nexus. Or she may try and kill Tristana while Mundo pushes way out. There she goes. Go for the Tristana who face checked the bush. Tristana forced to jump out of there. Very, very low here, but Kale is caught out now. And vulnerability coming up to keep her alive from this harass here. Giving time for Annie and Singe to catch up. Singe now with the Spirit Visage. Annie coming out here. Has the Archangel Staff into Seraph's Embrace finish. Has the Rabdon's Death Cap and Deathfire Grasp to immediately burst down some of these. Deathfire's Grasp, a nice percent of maximum health damage. That's going to help a lot with Mundo. Amumu immediately getting bursted, caught in the middle here, but Kale dies even faster. Amumu and Tristana staying alive against Singe back there. Annie being chased down by this Mundo. Inhibitor about to respawn for the blue team, but Singe is going to be able to finish off two of them by himself here. Down goes Tristana, Amumu shortly to follow. Mundo chasing Annie as best he can, tanking the minions, getting Tibbers, and he might die here, unable to kill Annie. The impossible defense there by Annie, getting a kill on Mundo, and that's going to end the game for the blue team if they actually push this out. 20 seconds before any of blue team spawns. Hey, Singe, you actually have to kill the inhibitor. Okay, he's going to let the minions do it while he kills off the minion wave with his poison. Okay, as well. He's not doing a whole lot to do that. Tristana is going to respawn in time here. But is she going to be able to defend this inhibitor? Doesn't look like it. Another minion wave coming up. Singe between her and Annie and this inhibitor. A lot of damage coming down on a Singe there. He's in trouble, but Annie's here to help, but so is Amumu. Landing the bandage toss on Annie, and Annie dies immediately to the jump in from Tristana. Blue team looking like they want to extend this despite the fact that they have this easily won. Red team attempting to surrender, but failing by 1 vote. Two of them realizing that they're getting trolled a little bit here by the blue team. Kale picking up the kill on Tristana. Amumu picking up the kill on Singe, but going to die to Kale. Kale having to try and stay alive here against Mundo. Meanwhile, by the Nexus, Super Minion doing some punching. Mundo able to chase Kale off and start farming up this minion wave, giving a chance for the minions to push away this super minion. But that minion wave is going to be tied up, and the only thing keeping the blue waves from pushing will be Mundo. Annie now respawned 10 seconds before Tristana is up. Kale going to do as much damage as she can to Mundo here, who's going for the health relic. He's able to take it, but it's not going to really do much against his max health. And down goes Mundo to Depressed Ninja. I've got Tristana coming out to defend this Nexus, taking down the super minion finally. XX Swaggernaut, XX coming in to help Kale and Annie there. Singe is way behind, but he is on his way. Singe now with Giant's Cult to give even more tankiness, maybe building towards a rally. The Mundo not really stopping anything there, and he's going to die pretty quickly. Tristan is in a lot of trouble. Mundo is still 10 seconds from being alive. Oh, Kibber's not quite stopped from going into the base. Come on, finish the Nexus, guys. You can do it. And here comes Mundo to kill Kale, while Kale and Annie actually finish off Tristan. Singe is here to help, though. Keeping this Mundo off Annie will result in a dead Mundo. The longer it goes, the better off Annie is. Oh, the flash from Mundo to try to kite around. Annie just keeping him locked up with Singed here. Singed doing all this damage over time, but barely scratching Mundo's max health, but over time it really adds up. And down goes Mundo to the Annie. Amumu comes back up. Not much left in the way of minions to defend this Nexus. Singed keeping Amumu out of the picture. Annie coming in to burst him down a little bit. Oh, Singed walking into the Nexus a little, but not enough to save the Nexus. Annie dying right before it dies. And that's the end of our ARAM. 14 kill lead for the blue team with a 1.2k gold advantage at the end there. And this is the end of today's broadcast. This has been FilibusterFox streaming League of Legends every day at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern time. You'll see me at Twitch TV/FilibusterFox streaming it up. We'll normally be spectating ranked matches at high elo, but with the lack of featured streams, we're having to kind of make do with what we can find at the time we can find it on the friends list. Sorry about that, their autofocus on the webcam. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you next time.